and see everything you have to know about the Group B. It will be Daedric against Promi.
And in the very interesting Group B of this round robin group stage, we already saw, like before the start of this journey, before the tribal horde game, the AIs were really close. Like the AIs, Promi and Horde were at 8 points, and then tribal, Yggdrasil and Daedric were all at 6 points.
Yeah.
So very close field there. And then the amazing game between tribal and Horde happened, where Horde just got wrecked, and now tribal is actually topping the group after just that one game. But the other AIs still have to play their game this journey. And
Yes.
this is one of those games, Promi versus Daedric, Promi, which we expect to be the best AI in this group and to make it out into the semi-final in first place. But to do that, it first needs to gather enough points versus Daedric and versus the Horde, which are by no means easy games.
Exactly. What is cool for Promi is the fact that it has all its cards in the end. I mean,
the hard game.
Yeah, it can win the whole games and finish first at least, regardless the result obtained by the opponents.
If it wins 4 hours, both of them, which, well, I will say that after the performance we've seen by Horde, which was kind of bad in the last couple of games, I think Promi has a pretty good chance of gathering at least 3 points versus the Horde. So it should still have a really good chance of making it out of the group in first place.
Yes.
But then there's still Yggdrasil, which has 2 relatively easy games, and there's still Tribal, which also has an easy game left.
Yeah, so Promi just have to play its skills, and it might be all fine for Promi.
Yeah, in my mind, it's really just a race for points between these 3 AIs, between Tribal, Yggdrasil, and Promi. Just who can farm the most points in these 1 to 2 games they have left.
Yeah.
And to say a bit about the AIs, Promi is the second best AI overall after Barbarian, and Daedric, I put them in my seeding for BYM. I put Daedric at number 7, and I think that's about right. I think it's ready. It got seed 6 in Davis Cup 3.
Yeah.
And that's really a bit deceiving. I think it seems a bit low, but it's still a really great AI. It's really kind of distorted by the fact that just over the last year we saw the rise of both of our AIs, Illuminati and Tribal, which came out of nowhere and are now both in the top 5, I would say, even Tribal. And that's why Daedric was kind of like, dropped a bit off because it was overtaken by those AIs, because it didn't get updated a lot over the last year. And before that, it was at number 5, just after Juggernaut. So it is definitely a top contender, which can be a good competition for AIs like Tribal, like Juggernaut. But Promi is definitely favored here, being the second best AI.
Yeah, definitely. What we can say about Daedric, which can be interesting, is the fact that Daedric like to go skirmishers in feudal wars.
But it also has a pure archer strategy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it will depend on the civilization of the game. At least it will be a random team random. So it will be pure luck for Daedric. But it's typically an AI which can be dangerous, I think, for Promi.
Yes, it can.
Yeah.
We know that Promi can have problems versus pure skirmishers in Feudal Age. So if Daedric does that, then it could get an early win here.
Yeah. And especially because Promi managed to have a good economy quite fast in the feudal, and won't try to play much in feudal wars. So it maybe can be something good for Daedric, but let's see.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Promi is a bit more passive.
Yeah. Okay, so the settings are already prepared.
And we can start.
Yeah, let me check. Okay. So yeah, everything is ready. You got my IP already?
Yes, I've got it. No need for you to show it on stream.
Okay, great. Promi Daedric, team random. Let's go.
And of course, like all games in this round robin group stage, there will be a series of 4 games played. It's not a best of anything series, it's just straight up 4 games. A 1v1, a 2v2, a 3v3, and a 4v4, and it's just 4 points, because in the group stage, It's only about which AIs get the most points in those games.
Yep, and it will be a Ghost War.
Oh, Ghostra. So one thing I will definitely say about Daedric, because I've noticed it in its game versus the Horde, which we did like a week ago or so on here, which is that Daedric doesn't really have any Civ specific strategies, and especially Goths was the one Civ which I noticed that it didn't really take any advantage of. In that game versus Horde, it didn't make any infantry at all as Goths. And in the late game, it has a really curious strategy of going Cavaliers and Light Cavalry, even even with Goths.
Yes,
And
that's true. Yeah.
funnily enough, it won that game versus the Horde, but that's really more on the Horde failing hard.
Yeah. So we can see many units in Imperial, as you said, skirmishers, scouts, cavaliers.
So that's I would say that's the biggest weakness of Daedric, that it can't fully take advantage of the Civ bonuses. That's also something that problem that Tribal had a while ago. I think
Yes.
Tribal has a bit improved in that, but Daedric still is very poor, like we saw in that game versus the Horde.
Yeah, definitely.
And I
Well,
think that's more of a problem in the late game. Actually, if it can get a quick win in Fuel Age with a skirmisher plus, then it's not going to be that much of a problem. But if the game goes on long enough and the late game strategy is suboptimal, then I think Promi can really have the advantage in late game.
yeah. Concerning Tribal, the first special strategy I made was for Turk and Goths. Very early, I mean like 8 months ago. And after that, I made special strategies for Saracens, Celt, Byzantine, Mongols, Britons, etc. But
So there's already a lot of them. That's good.
yeah,
I think Daedric still hasn't kind of picked up on that. Armelan is definitely still active, Armelan being the scripter of Daedric. And he is still kind of active, like he has just posted a mini update today, which is more like for the cooperation in the BYM tournament, which is coming up in 2 weeks. But it doesn't really change the gameplay of just pure Daedric teams. So that's not gonna have. So this version isn't gonna be any different in this game than the previous version would have been. But over the last year or so, Amalan hasn't made many updates to his AI. So I think if he can make more time and put more time into scripting, then he could definitely improve his AI a lot more, especially if he adds like Civ specific strategies like we talked about.
yeah, exactly. And anyway, I'm happy to see Amalon starting to work again on Daedric anyway. It looks
Okay.
like Derek had a decent start. It found every single chip. Oh no, he didn't find one boar,
Oh, they didn't
which is
lost
still
lose the
alive.
ball.
But
Okay. Yeah,
it,
that's a big oversight. I think did it even scout that? Uh, no, it didn't find that ball.
yeah, but it gets some deers, so maybe it's okay.
Yeah, okay, at least both AIs have found each other, and Promi has a pretty fast village time, going up on 24 population. Daedric going. Oh, Daedric is really slow actually, going up on 28 pop. So maybe that missed ball really hurt its Dark Age and Fuel Age time here.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Unless.
the great start Daedric had against Tribal.
Yeah,
It
look at
was it
Daedric
was
here.
fatal.
It's taking it's hunting a deer far away from the TC despite having a lot of idle farms. That's really something that's not optimal here. And I don't know, it could almost go fast castle here, but I don't think it's gonna do it.
Well, it would be really dangerous against Promi anyway to
Yeah.
try a fast castle,
I
and
think it just
it's
had a really slow fuel edge time because of its missed ball.
yeah. I thought getting the deers could make the economy okay, but it looks like it didn't. And as you can see, Daedric went on gold, so it will go um, for
Archers probably, yeah.
yes. I think it will be skirmishers and archers.
And Promi going for pure archers too.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
Wow.
the problems for Daedric don't really end there. It didn't even have enough. It still doesn't have enough wood to build a second archery range. And that's it had. Oh, it's making men at arms. Daedric does actually have a god strategy, it seems. Nice!
Okay.
So I guess I was mistaken when I said that it didn't have anything special with gods. It does seem like it's going for men at arms and skirmishers, so that is the perfect strategy for gods, I would say. That's the
Nice.
best you can do. Men at arms and skirmishers. That's great stuff from Daedric. And I think, well, the problem is that Promi is going for pure archers. Those pure archers do, of course, really well versus versus the men-at-arms, and now Promi is also adding a few skirmishers in the mix. So I think this fight could be pretty even if one of the AIs decides to attack. And Daedric already building a lot more farms than Promi. I saw that Daedric made a lot of farms already in Dark Age, and now it's building even more of them. So it seems like Daedric's economy is off to a pretty good start here. Of course, doing this unit composition of men-at-arms and skirmishers, it requires a lot of food to make the units. So if you get all your farms up in early feudal age, and then you at some point you stop making food units and switch to archers, then you're gonna have enough food to go to Castle Age really quickly.
Yeah, well, let's see if what will happen. Okay, blacksmiths for Daedric.
Yeah. And it doesn't seem like either of the AI wants to fancy its chances and go for an attack. Promi actually building a defensive tower.
Yeah, I detected the fact that Daedric had already many more units than Promi.
Yeah, Daedric has a few more units than Promi, 21 military population to the 18 of Promi. So maybe that's why Promi is going for the tower. But I do think that Daedric should have attacked, because especially doing this food-heavy unit composition, especially the men-at-arms, which are really strong in early feudal age, but they really lose their value as the game goes on and the enemy has a lot of archers and then later crossbowmen. Those men-at-arms are going to be useless. So if you're going to go for a strategy like men-at-arms, then you should really attack pretty fast into feudal age.
Yeah. Yeah, because at least Promi is starting to make many farms and switch for archers, so it will be able to go castle pretty soon, I guess. As usual, around 25 minutes.
Okay, it seems like now Daedric has stopped making units. It didn't even just switch to archers, it's just not making any units at all anymore. So I guess it wants to go to Castle Age, but that's not a perfect transition. It should really kind of switch to archers. And Promi, on the other hand, is still making. It has been making archers the whole time, and it's all close to clicking up to Castle Age now.
Yeah.
Daedric will be a bit slower, I think. Yeah, Promi is already up now. That's gonna be about 25 minutes, so standard Castle Age time for an AI after a flash.
Yes. What about Daedric?
Daedric still isn't up. It's still missing some food. It's not making any more units, like I said, but it just. Well, it was a bit slow. Because it was making men-at-arms and skirmishers for so long, and it didn't really switch to archers at any point, that it's now clicked up, but that's about 2 minutes, almost 2 minutes slower than Promi.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that Promi will start its attack as soon as it gets Castle Age, with crossbows and bodkin arrows at least.
Yeah, I'm really sad that Daedric didn't attack in the feudal age. It did pick the right strategy for its Civ, like really strong men-at-arms and skirmishers are really strong, especially in the versus most AIs which do a mix of skirmishers and archers. But yeah, it didn't take advantage of its good army composition. It didn't attack at all, and now that's why it gave Promi the opportunity to go up the Castle Age earlier. And now Promi is actually attacking, like you said. It's gonna get the upgrade soon. It's gonna have crossbow. It's gonna have bodkin arrow.
Yeah.
Just now coming in, and now here comes the attack, and it's gonna have a really good hill bonus in this fight. So this looks bad for Daedric.
Yeah, I think it's almost GG as the first attack of Promi, because of all the reasons you just told.
It's devastating, and it has all the upgrades already. So this fight is very decisive. Daedric just lost all its army, and now there's nothing here to stop the attack of Promi. Daedric doesn't even have a tower. Now all his crossbow just go right into the eco. Already one lumber camp down. Now the mining camp, the second lumber camp, and the mill all going idle. Yeah, okay. This seems to be over quickly.
Yeah, a really easy game for Promi. But anyway, Daedric tried to boom with one second TC, a third TC I mean.
Wow, Promi still hasn't made the second TC. So Promi was really going aggressive in the early Castle Age.
Yeah.
And it did have, having the age up advantage, the time advantage on going faster to Castle Age, and having the crossbows, which are of course good versus men-at-arms. It didn't really need to boom at all. It could just push an advantage, which is what happened. But if Daedric would have been able to defend there, maybe, then then maybe Promi would have, maybe it wouldn't be that good that it didn't make a second town center. Maybe could have fell behind if that first attack wasn't decisive, but it was decisive, so it's just speculation what would have happened otherwise. Well, I'm kind of surprised that Promi hasn't made any siege yet. It should have really made a siege workshop, made a few battering rams to finish up its push here, because right now its units are keep retreating from the town center, and this, even though Daedric keeps losing villagers and it keeps idling some villagers, it does have 3 TCs, so it can make more villagers. So Promi isn't getting as much of an advantage as it could.
Yeah, but anyway, what did you can do without any single unit?
Nothing.
Nothing. So it's really GG anyway.
But that's still a flaw from Promi, I feel. Okay, now finally we get to see the first battering rams coming from Promi, so it will be able to finish up this game. I was kind of concerned that Promi wouldn't be able to finish it out quickly, and we could maybe have a bit of a longer game than it should have been. But it seems like Promi will be able to finish it off now with the battering rams coming in.
Yep. Force TC for Daedric. Pretty useless.
Okay, Promi actually is now up on 3 TCs, but for the most part it was just on 1, and now it's actually up to Imperial Age. So it kind of decided not to boom, and went for a faster attack and going up to Imperial Age on 80 villagers. It's an interesting strategy from Promi. That's more like that's something you would maybe attack for, you would maybe expect from an arena game, not on Arabia.
Yeah, I think it's a strategy which trigger just because Promi had a edge domination on the opponent.
That could be why. And in that case, it would be definitely a good choice to just push your advantage and finish out the game, if you're already so far ahead of your opponent. And now the battering rams, like I said, coming in, taking down the first 2 TCs. And there's nothing here to stop. It's just a matter of time until the town gets taken down. Daedric already lost so many villagers, it can't really rebuild. Actually, it built 5 TCs in total.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing.
I would say definitely an interesting attempt here from Daedric. A good strategy pick, but it kind of gave away its window of opportunity because it didn't attack in feudal age.
Yeah, it really needs to be more aggressive. But anyways, this game will permit the scripter to improve its
I hope
AI.
So I really hope Omolon watches these games because there's a lot to be learned from it. Also, the game Daedric vs Horde, and that's also in the Twitch VODs, I believe. So Omolon could definitely watch that if he so chooses. I hope he does.
Anyway, he's around, so he might see it. I think Daedric won't resign until it has only 1 TC.
Oh, still better than Juggernaut. Okay, a ton of capped rams now, so
Yeah.
this game shouldn't last much longer. Here we go, resigned.
Okay.
At 19 pop, good. Well, I don't really know what to expect in this series, like which game Daedric has the best chance of winning. I do know that Daedric is capable in team games, and so is Promi. So I wouldn't really say that either of these. I don't know which of these AIs is better in 1v1, which one is better in team games. I think they're both relatively good in team games and decent in 1v1s. So I think Daedric has like a small chance to win all of these games. Just maybe we'll see if it gets lucky in some of these games, and or probably makes some mistakes.
Well, I think it could have been different if Daedric didn't have a bad start as it did.
Yeah, that's also true because it had a slow fuel age. Maybe if it had a faster fuel age, it could have attacked because it would have had the army up sooner.
Yeah. When you see the 1 versus 1 against Tribal, Daedric was very aggressive pretty early with a good start.
Did Daedric win that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we will start the 2 versus 2 team randoms. Settings are fine. Let's start.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't change the score. I always forget it.
Not a big deal.
So 1-0 for Promi. It's official right now.
Yeah, and like we said, what's important for Promi here is to win as many games as possible to guarantee that it finishes first place in this group
Exactly.
and gets the easier opponent in the semifinals, which will probably be Illuminati, which is definitely a much easier opponent compared to Barbarian. Now here we go, Promi versus Daedric 2v2, and we have Japanese and Vikings. I do think that's good for Daedric because these are really standard civs, so you don't need any crazy strategies to be good at them.
Yeah. I think the weird thing with Daedric, Promi and the Horde is the fact that when I see Daedric against Promi, it always looks like Promi is easily dominating Daedric, but Daedric can be a real problem for the Horde.
It's funny because of as we know, Daedric in the early days copied a lot of code from the Horde, so they are kind of similar in some aspects. But the thing with the Horde is, like we saw in the last couple of games, that Horde has a lot of problems currently, and especially versus all the newer AIs, which made so much progress in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So I do think Promi is definitely better in beating. Promi is better at not losing to weaker AIs than Horde is. Horde can be upset easier.
Yeah, that's true. And to complete what you said, anyway, the Horde could win against Daedric 3-1, in spite of the buggy version, which was already used against Daedric.
Yeah, and that one game it lost versus Daedric, I believe that was the 2v2. That was the really weird game where Daedric has the late game Goth strategy of Cavaliers and Light Cav, and it still won the game because the Horde Goth didn't do much. It didn't upgrade any of its army for some reason. And actually, now look at Green Green Promi. It's only sending 4 villagers to hunt from a deer like 12 tiles away from its TC. That's weird.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't know. That could maybe delay its uptime a bit. If no. Those villagers are gonna be in time back before it has to click up. I think a Green didn't find all of its sheep. It missed at least 2 sheep. Well, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Didn't build a single farm yet though. Now finally. And Red Scout is gonna survive. Is it gonna survive? Look at Yellow's TC. Ah, it's dead.
Oh yeah.
That was funny. If Yellow had just garrisoned its TC fully, it only put a few villagers in there, then the scout would have died almost instantly. But because it only put like, I don't know how many, but just a couple of villagers in there, the scout could have stayed alive, but the scout kept running around the TC, so it finally died. So at least Red found Yellow, but it lost the scout in the process. And looking at the scouting, I believe all players have been discovered.
Okay.
Yes, everyone has found their opponent.
What do you think? As we can see, it will be basically Viking against Japanese each side.
Yeah, and you were gonna ask me who has the edge there, I guess, and I do think Vikings are the better civ because they have the much stronger economy in the early game, so they will be faster. They will have more food income in the early feudal age, especially. So they can. I think the Vikings can have a bit more units in feudal age, and even have a bit of a better castle age time. And in the late game, though, Vikings aren't that strong. Like in the ultra late game, they lack a lot of strong military, but it's really hard to get to that stage of the game in a 1v1 or 2v2. So that shouldn't be a problem for the Vikings.
I think when you see Promi going very fast feudal, as usual, it's always fine for Promi to be Japanese because lumber camp costs less wood and it helps a lot Promi to get the 2 archery range faster than with some other civilization.
That's a very good point, Esty, because AI sometimes have this problem if they go up to feudal age relatively quickly, they don't have enough wood to build the 2 archery ranges immediately. But Japanese definitely have the bonus of the cheaper camps, so they save 50 wood on each camp. So that definitely enables them to get the archery ranges out without problem. And we see now both Promis going for pure archers again, which is something that
Yeah.
Promi likes to do. And let's look at Daedric. Blue going for archers, and
Oh,
red is going for men at arms.
militians. Yeah. It looks like with Viking, it will be pretty bad, I think, for the Daedric.
Yeah, it's doing the strategy that it did with Goths in the 1v1. It's definitely not that good with Vikings as it is with Goths, because the men at arms are much more expensive.
Yeah.
And yellow's already attacking here, already killing a villager actually. So I think red for some reason was really slow. It's only has 3 military units. It's extremely slow at 16 minutes. Promi's already attacking, already killed a villager. There's so many archers here. I don't know what happened to red. For some reason it had a really slow start in Feudal Age. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it looks like it has many farms as the game before, but yeah, only one archer range, one blacksmith.
It doesn't even have enough. Yeah, because it already had lost a villager and had some idle time from the idle attacks. It doesn't even have enough resources to keep pumping out units. So it's only gonna fall further behind. And yellow can turn this into a 1v2 really quickly.
Yeah.
On the other side, blue, Daedric is now going on the offensive with its pure archer army versus green, which also went pure archers. Yes, and now green is also starting to add in a few skirmishes at least. And green also has a defensive tower, so I do believe green should be able to defend here.
Yeah. But as you said before, green had a very bad start and was very slow.
No, it didn't really matter. It was just it took a deer from far away, but it didn't really hurt its Feudal Age time. So its start wasn't bad. I wouldn't say that. But what we saw, okay, now Daedric is actually attacking it. Someone managed to circumnavigate the tower after we saw its whole army. That was another issue we noticed with Daedric.
I think it's something new for Daedric, because I'm playing with the new version just posted today or yesterday. I don't remember.
But he said he didn't change anything other than the co-op goals. I do think that was just luck that it for some reason decided to go to the blacksmith or something. That would have been sneaky if he put in some DOC attack or something without telling us about it. Okay, and green's up to Castle Age already. That's really quick. Like I said, the Vikings have a good economy that enables them to go to Castle Age relatively quickly, and going for mostly archers, that will also boost the Castle Age time because they don't cost any food. So green's gotta have a good Castle Age time here. Yellow also now up to Castle Age, while Daedric, both of the Daedrics haven't clicked up yet, and yellow probably, red I mean, will probably never reach the Castle Age because it's under such heavy attack from yellow. Losing so many villagers, red is almost out of the game basically, and yellow even building the former tower there.
Exactly, yeah. I'm kinda upset by Daedric.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to red. Maybe we should watch back the demo to see what had a bad start. If you missed that.
It looks like this version of Daedric is a bit different, because I didn't see Daedric using this strategy.
The men at arms?
Yeah, men at arms with Goths and now with Vikings. It's not something I used to see.
I haven't seen it before either, but then again, I haven't really tested Daedric much, so I couldn't say if it was in the AI before this update or not. I don't know. Now green also attacking, having the much better Castle Age time here. It has the attack advantage. The blue is now in Castle Age, but a lot slower than green. Green already attacking with its upgraded units, crossbows with bolt and arrow, killing villagers already. Both of those lumber camps in the front from blue going idle. And now blue will have a hard time defending here. Now it has the upgrades as well, but it doesn't have much army to defend. I think it lost all of its army attacking green.
Yeah.
Oh god, no. And it looks like Promi is winning on both fronts now, so this game is already over. Good job by Promi. Definitely abusing the small weaknesses in Daedric, yeah.
It was very quick, both sides.
Yeah, Promi is really good at playing a standard game, doing strategies that are strong, getting up to Castle Age quickly enough. And Promi is one of those AIs like Illuminati that play really standardly and are really good at pulling it off in the early game. And so if the enemy AI makes mistakes, then the Promi and the Illuminati are gonna win that. They're really good at punishing because they play so well standard.
Yeah. And once again, as you can see, blue don't train any unit, just build some TCs.
Yeah. like it did in the 1v1. Maybe that's
Yeah.
also a problem in for Daedric in the early Castle Age, that it doesn't really make any military in early Castle Age. And also what we saw in the 1v1, in late Feudal Age, when it stopped making men-at-arms and skirmishers, it didn't even switch to archers, it just made no military units at all. So that really gives the enemy an opportunity to punish you. Because you're not making any military units.
Yeah. I think it's really a bad idea anyway to stop training anything to research faster an age anyway.
I think it can be a good idea, but you need to be sure that you can still survive.
Yeah,
and
but
Daedric isn't doing that.
Yeah, but if you have same number of units as the opponent,
Yeah,
it's always a bad choice.
Yeah, you have to take into consideration the military numbers, that's for sure. And that's something that's easy to do for AIs, which is why it's so surprising when they don't do it, and just because of it.
Yeah. Okay, rams are coming from green.
Okay, so looks like once again Promi will finish it off in Castle Age. And let's see if Promi does the same thing it did in the 1v1. Green, yeah, 1 TC, no 2 TCs, 3 TCs, sorry, I saw that wrong. 3 TCs from green and also 3 TCs from yellow. So not focusing that heavily, not going that aggressive as in the first game, I think.
Look at yellow. I don't see its units. Where is the army of yellow actually?
What happened? I think it lost it all to the TC.
Yeah.
Look at the TC, the all corpses there, but it doesn't matter because red is so hurt already, and green's already up to Imperial Age. So green did something a bit similar to the first game and decided to go up to Imperial Age really quickly before having fully boomed. Because it had such a big advantage, and that's it's really good in the situation again because the Daedrics have no way of punishing this because Promi is so far ahead already. And red, I don't. It seems like Promi stopped retreating from the TC, the yellow units from Red's TC, because it had such a big advantage that it just ran into the TC and lost all the units. But it didn't really matter because Red already was so far behind that. Yeah, I mean yellow is in Castle Age and Red's still in Feudal Age, and Red has very few villages left.
Yeah, but I think that Promiscuity would like to watch the recorded game and see what happened with its units.
Okay, at least green's now doing the final push, taking out blue's town. This game will be over really quickly here. And yellow is now also almost an Imperial Age.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's really good from Promi that it goes to Imperial Age so fast if it has the advantage. That's really good. I like it. Definitely helps you at closing out games and stopping the enemy from coming back. And blue resigned, there's only red left, and like you said, red was already weak from the very start of the game.
Yeah. And anyway, red is close to resign too because it has really pure units, very weak, and the Aleph will just kill everything.
Promi also has a bunch of monks. I think that's something Promi does, like it always has about 3 monks. No matter which civ, no matter what army composition, in the late game it always has like 3 monks backing it up.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if there's some thought behind it, but I always notice it and it seems to work at least. Sometimes it can be annoying, those few monks. Anyway, green also switching to red, so game over any second now.
Yeah, I increase the speed a little bit.
No, you don't need to, just wait for it to resign. You can rely on Daedric to resign. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, here we go.
Okay.
But as soon as it drops below 20, pop it resigns.
Okay. So
again, good game from Promi, punishing the small mistakes from Daedric, just not making any mistakes of its own. Like I said, very good at playing a standard game, and if the enemy makes a mistake, then Promi is gonna punish you.
Yeah, and at least as flank, it is really fast in reaching Imperial, around 36, 37 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know if it does that even if the game is close, but at least if it is so far ahead, then it is definitely worth it. Just going up the Imperial quickly to stop any attempt from the enemy to come back.
Well, I think anyway in other games it won't be able to reach Imperial that fast. Okay, so we are already playing the third games.
Yes, and I am kind of curious as to how Daedric does with its pockets.
Well, Daedric is really interesting in 3 versus 3 because it's with this setting. I think it beated the Horde. I think it was a 3 versus 3.
No. I think it was a 2v2. I'm not sure. Let me check actually.
Yep.
Daedric versus the. Oh, you're right. It won the 3v3.
Yeah.
Okay. I must have misremembered that. So, do you remember what happened in that game? Because I don't.
Well, yes, I think that the Daedric Pocket did a very good job and was able to defeat one the Horde in 2 versus 1.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that's something I wanted to point out about Promi. In the team games, that is something that Promi said himself, that he feels like the pockets are a bit too passive. They don't, the Night Rush isn't strong enough, and they focus a bit too much on their boom.
Yeah.
And again, in a way, a bit like Illuminati. So that could happen again. If Daedric has a good Night Rush, they could take out a Promi flank early on.
Yeah, but Daedric need to use a good strategy in feudal age at least.
Wow, we actually have Mayans here in this game. Let me check what position they're at. So the Mayans are red and teal, and red is on the flank, and teal is also on the flank, on the opposing flank. So we're not gonna see any Eagle Flood from the pocket here at least.
They are against each other anyway.
Yeah, I don't know if Daedric even has a Eagle Flood strategy from the pocket, but I know Promi does, and I know Promi's Eagle Flood is really good.
Yeah, I don't remember what will be the strategy of Daedric as Mayan pocket. I guess it will go boom Eagle Warriors, but I'm really not sure.
Okay, so the pocket one.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Sorry,
I think it goes crossbows.
Oh.
Like the Horde does.
Like the Horde.
Yeah.
The strategy that I so hated.
And
yeah, that's a bad strategy, I think, as a Mayan pocket.
yeah, and I have seen Daedric going that way with Britannic too, with some arbalest units, civilization I mean, as pocket.
So now it is Celts, the Daedric pocket. I wonder what that's gonna do. I mean, Celts definitely aren't a crossbow civ, but they aren't a cavalry civ either. So yeah. I do hope that it goes for Night Rush, which every civ should do, except for Meso civs, of course. Every civ from pocket should do a Night Rush, because that's the best try to have on your flanks. Because the Knights are so strong, they're so fast in early Imperial Age, and early Castle Age, I mean, and they beat pretty much everything that a feudal enemy can pump out. That's why Knights are really the best thing for a pocket to support its flanks.
Well, yes, I would be really surprised if, as Celt, Daedric will go archers. Really, I think it will go knights.
It definitely shouldn't do. If I say that as Mayans and archers from pocket are bad, then with any other civs it's gonna be even worse.
Yeah, definitely. Look at the scout of purple, which had some problem actually to lure the deer.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's a lake there. Oh,
yeah.
That's Arabia, man. That's just Arabia. I hate this map for AIs. The lakes mess up so much. They mess up the wood lines and mess up the deer luring. It's like every other game in Arabia. I see a deer lure fail because the deer gets stuck in between the lake and the forest.
Yeah. It makes the scout busy during the whole feudal age, Dark Age, I mean. But the good point is, Purple already did find the 2 boars, so the scout.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at yellow. A boar is still alive, close to the lumber camp. The yellow lumber camp, at the bottom of the town.
What's up with that? Yeah, it's not luring that boar either. It's on 26 population. It's again doing a really slow feudal age. 28 population going up to feudal age. That's like in the 1v1. And again, because it didn't lure the boar. And I don't know why, because this time it definitely scouted it. This is weird. I don't know. Avalon should definitely look into that.
Yeah. I think it's definitely that new version. I think Avalon did more than what he said.
Oh, look at Teal! It also failed its second ball and it even lost a villager. It even lost a villager. And that's a Mayan one. That's the important flank. Because red is already in field age, and Teal still. Oh my God! Teal.
Oh, it's terrible.
Teal is on 29 population, despite losing a villager. That means it went up on 30 pop.
Oh, look at the board. Kids go back again.
This is gonna be devastating for Daedric here. I think red is just gonna crush Teal.
Oh
my God, Daedric, what's going on?
And red archers are already coming, so.
Yeah, probably really needs to punish this. This is horrible. I don't know how Daedric's Dark Ages can go so wrong.
I think something is broken for Daedric with this version.
It's definitely something broken. I don't know if it's this version or if it was always there. At least we haven't seen the scout bug. I think he fixed that one.
Okay, Promi already goes on the gold miners.
Yeah, and as I said, purple. Take a look at purple. It's actually building a stable, so it is gonna go for knights. So that's at least a good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here we go, red already attacking, as you said, and the gold mine. Those villagers have no defense. I mean, Daedric is going pure archers as well as Mayans, but because it was so much slower, it's gonna have a lot less archers. So I don't see much chance here for Daedric to. I'm not sure. Promi doesn't have that many archers itself. That's curious. Because red did have a really good field age time. I don't know why it doesn't have more archers.
Yeah, or maybe it detected the fact that Daedric didn't have much units and decided to prioritize production of villagers. I don't know.
Well,
because in fact it doesn't have that many archers.
Yeah, but in feudal age there's no such thing as prioritizing villagers or not prioritizing villagers. You want your TC to be fully occupied the whole time. You don't want any idle time regardless.
Yeah, well. And
anyway, yeah, and red is still winning.
Other side, yellow looks to be fine with pure skirmishers.
Yeah. The thing is, that's the thing with Daedric, another bug that we noticed already in the horde game, but not really a bug, just it's something that could be implemented better is the retreat from the tower. Like we see here, those skirmishers are, the first skirmisher gets shot by the tower, the whole army retreats.
Oh, look.
And here we go again. Exactly what happened in the last game.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it actually does have some kind of DLC
Exactly.
I think you might actually be right. This is interesting. This is really interesting. I don't know if it's DLC or if it's just some kind of something with strategic numbers. I'm not sure. I think it might be DLC. Interesting. Definitely very interesting to see the new stuff from Daedric here. That's good. That's helping it out actually here because now purple is supporting this flank with its knights. It has a hill advantage here. If it wins this fight, then blue could be in trouble.
Okay, let's see. Interesting.
And on the other side, Teal switched to pure skirmishers and managed to fight back Red's archers. So Teal is in a good position itself, but Red is up to Castle Age already, having a good Castle Age again. Teal's gonna be a lot slower there, but it did manage to defend at least, so it's not gonna take more damage here. And a green depocket from Promi, exactly what Promi said would happen. It's not even attacking. I don't think the knights even left the stable yet.
Yeah.
It has 3 town centers. It's focusing purely on this boom. It's not gonna attack at all. So again, what you said, how Promi lost, how Daedric won the 3v3 versus Sword, managing to kill a flank early. That could happen again, especially because Promi's Castle Age, its pocket Night Rush really wasn't that great because it's focused so hard on the economy. Now the knights finally coming out. They are going to the threatened flank of blue. But I don't know. The purple knights are doing a good job of killing some villagers here in Blue's town, and yellow still causing more idle time from the other side. And green's knights actually changed their direction. They're now going towards teal, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And teal has archers now, but it's still in feudal age, and red is in castle age.
Yeah, like I said, red had a really good castle age time here. Now teal is also off the castle age, 3 minutes slower. But because it managed to defend here, I don't think it's okay. It's definitely in trouble because green now is attacking teal. I don't know why green decided to switch from defending blue to attacking teal, but that could be a good way of evening it out to a 2v2 at least, because it does look like Daedric's heavy crush here on blue is going to do a lot of damage. Now yellow still pushing with the skirmishers at the same time, so blue is in a lot of trouble itself. And I think green really needs to do a lot of damage to teal here to even it out, but I don't think it's going to have that good of a chance to do it, because it only has 4 knights and there's a good number of teal archers.
Yep.
I think red should really join in the fight soon to close out, to finish up teal here. Red built a castle, and it looks like red itself is focusing more on its boom. Yeah, red is building a 30C now. It's built a castle, but it's not making any plumes. It kept making skirmishes.
Oh yes, I see 1 plume actually.
Okay.
So it will turn
yeah,
at
I
least
think it's not
some
making
plumes.
plumes because it didn't have enough wood and gold. It has a lot of food actually. That's a bit of a we don't see that often from Promi, but Promi in this case seems to have a bit of a problem with its economy balance. It had too much food and not enough gold and wood, which is relatively weird because usually you'd expect if your AI to have a problem with food and not so much with the other resources, because food of course is hard to get because you have to build the farms first. I don't know, that definitely maybe something you probably should look into.
Yeah, and look at green. Green is attacking several eyes at the same time.
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like where the green knight's going. They're just chasing that one skirm at the moment, but I think they're going towards I think they're going towards Purple's town or even Yellow's town. Yeah, it looks like they're going towards Yellow's town. They're gonna meet the knights from Purple town. Purple even making a few spearmen. Definitely a lot better performance here from Daedric than we saw in the last 2 games. Putting up a much better fight, and I wouldn't even say that Promi has a big advantage here. The thing is that that green had a better boom than purple, so maybe that could help Promi in the long run. Let me check how good the boom was for purple and for green. Yeah, green has 17 villagers more than purple, and green should be close to going up in period age. Actually, it's already clicked up.
Okay.
So green could really make the difference here. I wonder what its strategy is gonna be as Frank. Okay, no, I don't want anymore. It's Frank, so it's gonna go for paladins.
Well, honestly I think that Daedric should have been able to kill blue, but
yeah, I think so too. I don't know.
Blue managed to defend pretty well.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Daedric should have managed to defeat blue. I don't know why it didn't. I think it was attacking the wrong buildings. It kept attacking farms for some reason instead of killing the tower. Definitely true that it should have been able to deal with blue and it didn't, and blue is still alive. That cannot happen. That shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, because now, as you said, yes, green is imperial.
But
at the 35 minutes.
The silver lining here is that, as we noticed in the last couple of games, Daedric in early Castle Age likes to prioritize its boom on the flanks.
Yeah.
And again, yellow has a really good boom. Much better than the Promi flank.
Okay.
Yeah, yellow is on 80 villagers, and actually red has a better boom. I take that back. Red had the much better boom.
Because, really?
Yeah, because it had the much better castle age time, and it wasn't threatened at all the whole game. And it built the castle defensively. I said it didn't train many units in castle age. It did really focus more on its economy, and red has a good boom itself. I think red is also up to imperial age.
Yes, yeah, it's what I was thinking, because I see it building one barrack, one range unit.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
I think that now it's gonna turn in Promi's favor because blue managed to survive. Daedric wasn't able to defeat it outright, and yellow, despite focusing a bit on its boom, red's boom was just so much better. And even though red didn't manage to defeat teal at the same time, teal's economy was hurt a bit, and red had the better boom, the much better boom. Yet now we already have 2 Promis in Imperial.
Yeah, and green is coming on yellow.
Yeah, now with the Cavaliers, of course, being Franks, it has gonna go heavy on the cavalry. It's a top limit actually. So a lot of units in play for green here. And purple, yeah, the problem is purple is still in Castle Age, so it's gonna have a hard time defending against these Cavaliers. And blue also attacking now with a ton of skirmishers and a few battering rams. Those skirmishers are bad versus the knights. And now, yeah, the Cavaliers aren't helping the skirmishers out here, so Purple's army can even clean up the skirmishers from blue.
Yeah, a good choice.
Now, okay, now green is paladins though. Finally Paladin upgrade already. 40 minutes Paladins. That's a great time, I would say.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah, it's very
Really
good
great job from
time.
Paladin, from Promi, getting Paladins at 40 minutes. With Franks even. Yeah, really great job. And now green is even slinging its allies because that's pop limit.
Okay, let's see if purple has a counter units against the paladins.
Yeah, we already
As
saw it
Celt.
as making pikemen earlier on, but it's not gonna help much versus fully upgraded paladins if you're still in Castle Age. And actually, purple is now finally in Imperial Age, and
Yeah.
it keeps making pikemen. But you see again the infamous Daedric late game strategy: Cavaliers, light cavalry from Cal.
Okay.
Oh my God, Armenon,
I think
please,
it will go.
please.
Maybe it will go paladins, no? As Celt.
Celtic paladins, the worst paladins in the game. Oh my God.
Okay, but yes, I
Oh.
see some pikemen +4 attack.
Yeah. And on the other side, Red now also winning because they had a much better boom. It was an Imperial Age very quickly for a flank, and is now attacking the siege rams and plumed archers. So Teal has no chance of
Oh
defending here,
yeah.
and also a few paladins helping out on that flank.
Okay, it's a real domination each side.
Yeah, this was a really interesting game from both AIs. I think Daedric put up a good fight early on, but Promi focusing on its economy, focusing on its boom,
Yeah.
had a much stronger, got to its Imperial Age a lot faster, got its upgrades really early. Like 40 minutes Paladins, we don't see that very often. That's a great job from Promi. Like I wouldn't say that Daedric did any obvious mistakes in this game. I don't know why it wasn't able to finish blue, but definitely I would say that Promi had an amazing performance.
Yeah.
Really great job from Promi.
Yeah. It was just impressive. But yeah, the start of Daedric looked really a shame at start, but it still managed to give a good match to Red.
Yeah,
And yeah,
it was a good match.
Green did a good job against Blue, but yeah, Promi did some miracle, I think, especially the pocket.
I don't know. If purple and yellow would have been able to kill blue, then this would have turned into a 3v2. And despite probably the green and the red one having the best boom out of all players and being the first of Imperial Age, it could have been a really, a really interesting game with the two well-boomed players in Imperial Age versus the three Daedrics, like a 2v3. But for some reason, Daedric wasn't able to kill blue, so it had no chance in the late game because probably got that so much earlier.
Yeah, I in a short moment I saw yellow retreating while purple had some knights still attacking blue.
Okay.
So maybe there is still a problem with the coordination.
Yeah, I don't know, but the tower wasn't damaged at all. Like purple had so many knights there, and the tower wasn't even damaged. It should have taken down the tower with the knights.
Yeah.
So maybe Amalon should take a look at its defensive priorities, the ones that determine which buildings get attacked by your TSA. I think that Amalon should definitely take a look at those.
Yeah, it's a good tips for him.
Yeah, now we see just all over the map, green paladins cleaning up every single player. Moving on from teal to purple to now only yellow left.
Yeah.
This was a
Okay.
great game. I would say a good fight put up by Daedric, and an amazing performance by Promi.
Yes, definitely. So the 4 versus 4 can be promising, I think, but
Yeah, especially
with
after seeing this game.
yeah,
Seeing that Daedric did better in the 3v3 than in the 1v1 and 2v2. I think it could put up a good fight in the 4v4 as well, if it has a good night rushing.
yeah, there is a lake concerning Daedric to reach Imperial faster than what it did. I mean, the pocket went Imperial at the 41 minutes, and the two flank never did.
Yeah, and even the flank from Promi, the Red Mayan one, reached Imperial at like 37 minutes.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
yeah, it's a pretty good time too. Okay, so let me update the score.
So it looks really good for Promi already.
Yeah.
So because yeah, winning versus Daedric, if it gets a 4-0 here, then it's gonna be up to 12 points. And then, like I said, because the Horde has so many problems currently, it could also Promi also has a good chance of getting a lot of points versus the Horde. So I would say that Promi is in a really good position to reach first place in this group and get the easier semi-final opponent from Group A.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's gonna be interesting to see which of the remaining AIs from Group B manages to clinch the second spot, and
Well,
if we need a tiebreak.
Yes, I think that this score of 3-0 actually obtained by Promi is turning pretty bad for Daedric, because Daedric is almost already eliminated, I think.
Yeah, and I have to say, like, I didn't expect Daedric to have any chance anyway, because Promi and Tribal are the better AIs, and because Yggdrasil is really a specialist that has a special strategy that can beat many AIs of that caliber.
Yeah,
So I wouldn't have expected Daedric to make it out anyway, but yeah, it's just a matter of because there's still another AI. Yggdrasil still has this game versus Daedric. So Yggdrasil Yggdrasil also needs to farm as many points as possible to decide if Yggdrasil makes it off the group over Tribal. So maybe Daedric could be a hurdle there for Yggdrasil still.
yes, his Journey 5 will be just amazing, I think.
Yeah, because of how close this group is, that's really, really interesting games because of how meaningful they are for who makes it to the playoffs.
Okay, so let's start the 4 versus 4.
Yeah, you're starting?
Yeah, pretty soon. Okay. Have we got some viewers in AIScripters channel actually?
I don't see any, but it doesn't matter. It's gonna go on YouTube, mate. Okay, here we go. We have Vikings, Chinese, Mayans again, and Mongols. So let's check again where the Mayans are in this game. We have a green Mayan and a purple Mayan. Green Mayan
Okay.
for Promi is in the pocket, and purple Mayan for Daedric is in the flank. So
Oh.
this time we are gonna see the really great Eagle Warrior flood from the Mayan pocket of Promi. At least this is gonna be great.
Yeah, but
I think this is gonna be bad for Daedric.
only at least only in Imperial, because it will I think it will go plume arches in Castle Age, and then Eagle Warriors.
It could go either. It definitely has a 3TC fast like 3TC in straight Eagle Flood with 29 minutes Imperial Age. It definitely has that strategy. But you are definitely right that it also has a castle drop plumed archer strategy from the Pocket Mayan.
Yeah.
But I would like to see the Eagle Flood. I think that's a much better strategy for AIs. In human games, you often see the castle drop because you can do like a lot of stuff with the positioning of your castle, but that's much harder to do for AI. So I think for AIs, it's gonna be much better to go for an Eagle Flood.
Yeah, definitely. Especially in team random, when you know that the opponent can eventually
Also Mayan, yeah.
go Eagles. Yeah.
And the pockets for Daedric at this time are Vikings and Mongols. So I do hope we're probably gonna see a double Night Rush again. So that's at least good for Daedric. And because of course the Eagle Flood is gonna take a bit longer to kick in, like about 30 minutes, maybe Daedric could be able to take out the flank early on, if it takes advantage of that.
Yeah, I think Viking as pocket he can be pretty strong.
That can have a good Night Rush.
With a strong Night Rush, so it can be really something really interesting, especially against the red one. But well, anyway, Promi is pretty strong as Viking too, so it will be pretty fair, I think, at the top of the map.
So I guess I could start formulating the win conditions for Daedric here. If Daedric wants to win this game, it needs to kill both flanks, I would say. It needs to kill both flanks to turn into a 2v4. Because It does have that chance because also not only is one of the pockets maybe gonna go for an Eagle Flood, the green one, but also the other pocket, despite going for Night Rushers Vikings, could focus more on economy again, like we saw in the last game, and which is a bit of a characteristic of Promi of having not that strong a Night Rush and a bit of a more economy focused pocket. So Daedric does have a chance to take out both flanks, and it needs to do that. I think even if Daedric just takes out a single flank and turns into a 3v4, it's still gonna lose. And even if it turns into a 2v4, it still has a chance to lose.
Yeah,
I think
at least.
I think Daedric needs to do as much damage as possible to even have a chance here.
Yeah.
So let's see. Green definitely. Let's see. I'm gonna keep looking at green as soon as it gets to Castle Edge to see it's. Oh, it's already mining stone. It's already mining stone.
Okay. Oh.
So it's gonna go for Castle Drop.
Yeah.
That's definitely the weaker option between Castle Drop and Eagle Flood for an AI at least. I would say. So maybe Daedric has a better chance here. Let's see what it's gonna do. I think it's gonna drop its castle at home, so not gonna help defend its flank with the castle. And then pump out a few pruned archers, but I don't think they're gonna be that much help. I think Daedric actually has a good chance of winning this game if it plays its cards right.
Okay, yellow is already on gray, I mean.
Yeah, and same for red and purple.
Yeah, but gray will be able to defend.
And so will purple, having a tower there. Still, definitely Promi. One thing we saw every single game here was that Promi in the flanks and in the 1v1 2v2 has the better fuel age times and always goes aggressive first.
Yeah, what I dislike is the fact that it attacks without fletching.
Oh my god! Whoa! I completely missed something here. That's purple. Look at purple! Purple did a fast castle from the flank!
Oh yes!
Fast castle Eagle Warriors.
Oh, yeah, so but it's really prevented to get some gold.
It was kind of slow. It's not really a clue. It was 60 minutes 51. That's a bad time for Mayans for an Eagle Rush. What's the fastest time for you to do nothing for a clue, right?
Okay. Let's see what the knights can do. It's pretty important because the gold, the mining camp is
so both flanks here sending their knights to help out attacking or defending purple, orange having to defend purple and blue having to attack it. But I think the fact that purple is still alive can be good for Daedric.
Yeah, and look at yellow, which is under attack.
Wow, so Daedric managed to turn that flank around.
Yeah.
That's impressive. What? Nice, so Daedric, I think it made more skirmishers, but probably made pure. Oh no, it's the knights. It's the knights. Of course, it's the knights.
Yeah, at least it's
green.
It's 2v1.
Where's green's castle? Green didn't make a castle. Green is full. Green is full booming.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 TCs. Are you kidding me, Promi? What the fuck is this? 5 TCs?
5 TCs.
Are you just gonna let your flank die? What is this? Wow! I've never seen this. This is surprising.
Yeah.
I think it's a huge mistake. I think if Daedric manages to kill yellow and move on to attack green before it gets its military out. Jesus, Promi, what's going on? I don't think that's a viable strategy in any ever. You can't just full boom 5 TCs.
Look! It goes monks.
Yeah, to defend.
I see 5 monks.
It makes that's something it even does if it does a 3 TC Eagle Flood. It makes at least a few monks to defend versus some knights.
Yeah.
But if there's 20 knights and 50 skirmishers, those 3 monks aren't gonna help, mate.
Yeah, I see 7 monks now.
That's insane. 5 TC boom. Wow. I would never have expected this.
And purple is really fine now with many
like
eagles.
I said, because purple managed to fast castle without dying, it's in a good position.
Yeah.
And it's making eagles now attacking together with orange versus red and blue, because red is still in fuel age, I believe. No, it's in castle age now. I'm sorry, but it was in fuel age for a long time, of course, because it went for flash. Red is now dying to Daedric. I think this is the game for Daedric to win. Daedric cannot afford to lose this game. It has to win here. Come on, Daedric, this is your chance. When Promi fails this hard, you have to win. Please, Daedric, do it.
It looks like blue stay really defensive, but it's making a pretty strong economy with how many TCs? 3 TCs, no? Yeah, 3 TCs.
Yeah, blue 3 TCs. Well,
Oh,
it did go for Night Rush, but blue is up to Imperial Age now.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, not fully
I
boomed,
see.
like we see sometimes. And green also Imperial Age at the same time with 5 TCs, and it is gonna go for... What's it gonna go for? What? It has a single barracks and a single archery range. I don't even... What's going on?
It would be a shame if it goes Arbalest, at least.
Nothing. If it goes nothing, it has a single archery range. Now building one more.
Oh, I see crossbows. I see crossbows.
Yeah, I think it's gonna go for Arbalest, but it doesn't have enough wood to make more archery ranges. I think that's a problem. Because yellow is dead. Yellow's dead, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely. I hope both teal and gray switch to green and fucking kill green, because green needs to be killed for doing a fucking 5 TC boom.
Oh, gray is already coming on green, which has no army.
Green. Please do it, Daedric. Please punish Promi for this 5 TC boom. This is insane. You cannot let this pass. This needs to be punished. Please, green. Die. Okay, good job. Now, yeah, well, purple also has the 3 TCs. It's still, yeah, it made a lot of Eagle Warriors. It could maybe have had a faster Imperial time if it started booming a bit earlier. But at least they managed to kill red basically. So it is a 2v4 at this point. Yeah, it's a 2v4.
Yeah, it's a 2v4. But look at the knights of the both pockets. Daedric side. It looks like they both are researching Imperial, no? Orange and teal.
Orange is.
Yeah.
And teal is not yet.
Okay.
But at least orange is. That should be enough to win a 4v2. At least one of your guys is Imperial. Now green has made 2 castles, is making a 3rd castle, and is making a lot of plumed archers. So at least it has a good late game, but full booming and letting your flanks die is not acceptable in any circumstance here from you. Not doing a 5 TC boom. That's insane.
Yeah, especially when you see that it goes skirmishers, 5 TC boom and skirmishers, man. Great, Promi, good job.
I have no idea, Promi. What happened there? I'm definitely gonna ask Promi about this game. I wanna know if that's an actual strategy or if Promi just somehow the infamous Promi thing happened where it switched the strategy to no strategy.
I think so. Yeah.
Had no strategy. That's, I think, the biggest problem that Promi still has, that it sometimes switches to a state where it doesn't even have a strategy.
Okay, so now it's crucial because both pockets are attacking the Daedric flanks. It can very fast turning 2 versus 2. So
yeah, because blue has a good army of a lot of champions now, and because purple is still making a bunch of Eagle Warriors. At least the good thing from Daedric, I would say, here is look at how many Scorpions Daedric is making.
Yeah.
I think that's a direct response to the champions. That's a great response to champions.
Yeah, it's a good job.
Like normally I would say, yeah, Scorpions, sure, unupgraded Scorpions, not even Kelts, they're not that great, but if there are that many, and if they are against a lot of champions, they can do work. I think that's a good job. And now purple, yeah, it's still making Eagle Warriors and can go to Imperial Age relatively quickly. I do think it should have switched from Eagle Warriors maybe to crossbows.
I'm surprised by the fact that we got 3 Daedrics against blue and gray is all alone against green actually.
Yeah, gray is actually being pushed now from green. Yeah. You're right. Green has a lot of siege rams there, attacking with its tons of elite plumes. And trebuchets even. I think green can make short work of Gray's town here.
Yeah. Yeah, gray is close to die.
Blue needs to die quickly. Yeah, blue needs to die. It's gonna be a 3v1 then. It doesn't really matter if gray dies here, as long as Daedric is able to kill blue at the same time. I mean, this game lasted long enough in the 4v2. I think Promi lost its window of opportunity, if it even had one. I don't think Promi even had a window of opportunity with going a 5 DC boom. I think you just deserve to lose if you do that.
Yeah, it was very too slow.
And yeah, purple is up to Imperial Age finally. It has a lot of monks even. And I hope it's gonna. Do Aztecs get the heavy scorpion upgrade? They do. I mean Mayans. That's good. If it upgrades those heavy scorpions, then blue can do nothing more.
Okay, it's
good job.
Yeah,
wow.
I've never seen I go scorpions as Mayan.
More AIs should. At least, I think it's a great counter versus pure infantry. Even Scorpions, even if you're not Celts. I mean, I do definitely, in my own AI Illuminati, I want to implement more Scorpion strategies because right now only Celts make them. Just mass Scorpions are always great. Just mass, especially heavy Scorpions in mass, can take on pretty much everything except Onagos. But against infantry, they're always a great counter.
Yeah, at least. Okay,
really the problem with Scorpions is you have to get a good number of them. Just 2-3 Scorpions aren't gonna be of much use. You need at least like 5, 6, 7, 8, even more. The more the better with Scorpions.
Yeah.
And again, yeah, Grey kind of managed to defend because Teal helped it out a bit, and now Teal already going on the offensive against Green. Like we already noticed, it's a 2v4. The longer a 2v4 goes on, the less chance the two players have to, because the two players in the 2v4. The reason it's a 2v4 is because the two players focused on their boom and let the flanks die. So they have a small window of opportunity after they're fully boomed on an Imperial Age to even up the game, turn it into a 2v2 or outright win it with attack advantage and the boom advantage. But they didn't manage to, and that's why Promi has no chance to win anymore.
Yeah. To have a chance, it should have killed pretty fast the Daedric's pockets, but it was just impossible. And anyway, when you see blue is just surviving thanks to a castle, but the castle will go down pretty soon.
Yeah, just like I said, it's a 2v4. In a 2v4, if the two players aren't doing the damage, then they have no chance of turning it around. There's just no chance. It's 400 prop versus 800 prop. Okay, this game was crazy.
Yeah, very good game. It's just exactly what I wanted.
Remember me outlining Daedric's win conditions in the at the start of the game, killing both of the flanks, and Promi focusing on their broom? That's what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
And Promi, like, it's really all on green. It's all. I put this whole game on green strategy, of 5 TC boom. What even is this? 5 TC boom. You gotta. Oh my god! I don't even know what to say, Promi. This is definitely not something I would ever have expected from Promi.
Yeah, especially when you go skirmisher after that big boom.
Yeah, even the skirmishers after that. I mean, if you're 2v4, then skirmishers aren't the units that's gonna win you the game.
Okay, blue is really out of the game already, so it's green against everybody.
Actually, red built a TC in the back of blue's base. It's just clumped in there between the markets.
Oh.
It's not gonna matter.
Yeah, it managed to make some farms. But
at least Promi is trying to rebuild, but it's not gonna matter if you lost the game anyway. But well, at least this game was like the opposite of the 1v1 2v2, where Daedric played standard and well and punished Promi for its mistakes.
Yeah, I think Daedric just need to use standard strategies, because the militia don't work much, actually.
Yeah. Great job. And at least Daedric got a single win over Promi, so it's not a lock that Promi is gonna be first place in this group. If it loses 1 or 2 games versus the Horde in its last journey, then Tribal and Yggdrasil could catch up to the same number of points. It's possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
And both of these AIs, both of Tribal and Yggdrasil still have their game versus Unfair still left. And Unfair still being the weakest AI in this group, we can maybe even expect both of them to win 4-0 if they get lucky.
Well, yeah, it will be lucky for Tribal, because Unfair still is pretty strong in 1 versus 1 anyway.
Yeah, it's strong. It's definitely strong. But Tribal, I think Tribal and Yggdrasil can both pull off a 4-0. I think it's possible. They can do it.
Okay, so we got 3-1 final score.
Oh, wow.
Good job, Daedric.
Those were some great games. The 3v3 and 4v4 at least. The 1v1, 2v2 were really one-sided, but the 3v3 and 4v4 were really impressive games. Yeah. So, Remember at the start of the series, I said I don't know whether these. I don't think either of these AIs are better at 1v1 or team games. And now I will say that Daedric is much better at team games than at 1v1s.
Yeah.
I think that's what we learned from this game. That Daedric is great at team games and not that good at 1v1s.
Well, especially with this new version, because I have seen Daedric more impressive with the previous version. So I hope it's just a feeling, or Amelon will have to work a bit on its strategies in 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2. Okay, so I update the bracket.
Yes. Let's see the bracket here. It's always also good to show to the stream. We got a 3-1 for Promi. So it's up to 11 points now, only a single point ahead of Tribal. And that could be a problem, because if Promi loses 2 games to Horde and Tribal falls unfair steal, then Tribal is gonna have the first seed, the first slot in the semi-final.
Yeah,
and
it's still possible.
What do you think the matchup between Tribal and Illuminati is like? Because that could happen.
Well, in my mind, Illuminati and Promi has almost same strategy, same style of game. So yeah, if you see the score between Promi and Tribal 2-2, I would say that Illuminati against Tribal should be really even.
Yeah, I do think that's going to be a good game. And it's going to be best of 7s even. I didn't even know it's going to be best of 7s before today. I noticed that there's best of 7 in the final stage. Those are going to be great series.
Yeah.
Imagine if we're going to do a 7-game stream. That would be long.
Well, I don't know if we would do that in a row.
Maybe we could take a 15-minute break in between. But I do want to make to do these series in a row, like at once. I think we should do that.
Well, maybe if we can do it with other casters.
Yeah, maybe if we have Promi 2 casting, that should be good.
Yeah, it would be fine. Okay, I didn't check the statistic of the game. Well, Promi had one more time decent Imperial times, but anyway, well, not that decent if you consider that Promi green just boom, it went Imperial at 34 minutes.
That's definitely something we have to ask Promi about. Like, what's that about? A 5 TC boom from your pocket.
Yeah, it wasn't a good idea, at least. It will be an interesting question to ask to Promiscuity if it was something like a strategy triggered or something like that.
In any way, he needs to fix that. No matter if it was a real strategy or if it was just the infamous Promi doing nothing strategy, it's bad in either case.
Well, the nothing strategy is never a good one anyway.
Yeah, it's always bad. I've been telling him for months to fucking remove that.
Okay, so Aleph, thank you for being co-casted this game.
Thanks to all our viewers on Twitch as well as on YouTube. And we're gonna see a few more games in this group stage, and then we're gonna move into the final stage, into the playoffs, semi-finals, and finals, best of 7 series each game of the Davis Cup. And I hope you're gonna join us for these games as well. See you next time.
Yeah, see you guys.